Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician channel, and today we're going to be going into a new product that Tekton has recently released, and I'll be sharing the specs and features and everything with you and then showing you how it operates. But I want to quickly go into some of the others that are similar. So if you guys follow the channel, you guys know I'm a big Tekton fan. I've got a lot of their products and I really enjoy them. I think they're a great tool for a great price. I've been talking for the last couple years that even though I own a Tekton torque wrench, it is your generic design torque wrench, and I had been hoping that they would release a new design, and in the year 2021 happens to be the year at the end that they released their new style torque wrench. And this is going to be a split beam torque wrench, and there are pros and cons to this style torque wrench compared to your standard click style, so we're going to be going over that. But before we get into this, I do want to go over some of the others that are similar to it. There are a few other brands that offer a split beam style that is similar to this design. So with this, you're going to get your instructions and your certification. Every torque wrench has a serial number, a certificate of accuracy and everything, and very nice. So there's the packaging, the torque wrench, and a couple of the other main brands that have a design similar to this are going to be Ulsa Tools and Icon. Let's quickly go into the differences. I'll be posting up some pictures of the Ulsa Tools and the Icon as well as this one, so you guys can see some of the information. There are quite a few pictures, so I'm only going to post them for a few seconds, so if you want to stop and read some of the information or look at the image, just go ahead and pause the video. So with the Ulsa Tools, it is going to be a 32 tooth torque wrench, which when it comes to torque wrenches, I am completely fine with that. A little bit larger teeth, you got a little bit stronger torque wrench, and normally when I'm using a torque wrench, 90% of the time I am not in a restricted enough area to where I'm looking for a high tooth count for low arc swing. So when it comes to torque wrenches, I'm not really too worried about tooth count so much as I am just being able to get to the fastener in general, which with any torque wrench you're going to have that same issue if it's in a confined space. But 90% of the time, I'm not looking for a high tooth count, so 32 tooth torque wrench is perfectly fine. So that's what Ulsa Tools offers with their split beam. All the images of the Ulsa Tools, the Icon, and the Tekton, people will say the handles, everything's the same. They're not. There are quite a few differences between these three brands. So besides that, the Ulsa Tools is going to range from, this is the 3/8 drive. For all of these, I'm going to be speaking about the half-inch drive just because Ulsa Tools only offers it, as far as I know, in the half-inch drive. So for the half-inch drive, Ulsa Tools torque wrench ranges from 50 foot-pounds to 250 foot-pounds, and then it has a plus or minus 4% as far as the accuracy of torque, and the price on it is going to range from $130 to $160, just depending on when and where you get it. The Icon, it's going to have a couple nice features. It is going to be a 90 tooth, so quite a high tooth count for a split beam torque wrench. The handle design is a little bit different on it as well, so I don't believe any of these three torque wrenches are made in the same facility. There are quite a few differences, not just in the handles, but accuracy, tooth count. Now, there's no guarantee. I can't say for a fact. I haven't dug into it that much, but I don't believe, just my thoughts, that the three are made in the same factory. I don't believe that's true. So the Icon 90 tooth, the handle design's a little bit different. They all have the same general appearance and design, but the Icon is also going to range from 40 foot-pounds instead of the 50 foot-pounds on the Ulsa, from 40 foot-pounds to 250 foot-pounds, and it is also going to have a plus or minus of 4% accuracy on the torque, and then its price is going to be around that $130 price range. So with the Tekton torque wrench, right now we're just going to be speaking of the half-inch. It is also a 32 tooth count, so once again, that doesn't bother me. I like with the torque wrench having a little bit larger teeth on it to make sure it can handle those higher torque applications without worrying. The handle are different. If you look at like the Icon or the Ulsa, if you saw in those images, They have 2 center screws here. This one has 4. The handle design's a little bit different, not just by the mounting point, but the design itself. But all of them have this same general design with the gauge and the chart. The Tekton will range also from 40 to 250 foot-pounds, so just like the Icon, it has a wider range of torque than the Ulsa tools by 10 foot-pounds on the lower end. One thing I forgot to mention, with the Icon torque wrench, the flex head, it is stated to have 15 degrees of angle. Now keep in mind that anytime you are torquing something, you want to use the tool as straight as possible. You do lose some accuracy when using it at an angle, but it is there if it is necessary. So with the Icon, you get 15 degree of angle. The Tekton torque wrench, like I stated, 32 tooth, 40 to 250 foot-pounds, an accuracy of plus or minus 2.5%, so it is going to be more accurate than their other torque wrenches in the Tekton lineup, as well as more accurate than the Icon and Ulsa tools. And then it is going to have a 10 degree flex in the head. And Ulsa, as far as my research that I did, I couldn't find what the angle was. I'm guessing it's around that 10 degree as well. None of them have a huge amount of angle as far as the flex head. The 3/8 is going to run $115, and it is going to range from 20 foot-pounds to 100 foot-pounds. And then the Tekton half-inch torque wrench is going to run $140, so priced right there with Ulsa and Icon, all around that 130 to 140. And then also, depending on where you find it, can be higher priced as well, but all priced very well. And then you can actually buy both the 3/8 and the half-inch for $240, so you're actually saving $15 there. Plus, when you buy it through the Tekton website, whether you're buying one of them or both of them, you get that 10% in rewards on your account, so that's a nice feature as well. We'll just kind of quickly go into the looks of it. So I can't state this compared to any of the other brands, but this is a brushed finish. And then here on the head, sorry about the lighting, when I was first looking at it, I saw just a couple scratches on it, and that's when I came to realize that this head actually seems to have a clear coat on top of the chrome. This is all like brushed finish, and then the head is actually a chrome finish with a clear coat on top of it, seems like. And then here's a listen of the 32 tooth count. So very smooth, especially for a 32 tooth count. And then you have this plastic or rubber liner right here around the top that kind of smooths the transition from this top portion to the bottom portion. And then I'll be posting up a picture here where you can actually see how a split beam looks on the inside. So some of the pros and cons of a split beam. Con being that it only works in clockwise direction. You can't do anything counterclockwise. I'd say over the years I've only used a torque wrench counterclockwise one time. Now if you're in a field where you know you will be dealing with a lot of reverse thread or any application where you need to torque in the counterclockwise direction, obviously a split beam is probably not your best choice. But 95% of people out there with your general work and mechanics, you're going to be okay with a torque wrench that only works in the clockwise direction. A lot of standard click style torque wrenches only are accurate in the clockwise direction anyways, and then some of them have a lot lower accuracy when working in the counterclockwise direction. So that is something that you could say is a con on the split beam style torque wrench, is it only works in one direction. Big pro to these is if you actually maintain your torque wrench, it is stated that anytime you are not using it and you are storing it, you definitely do not want to store your torque wrench at your last setting. So if your torque wrench ranges from 20 foot-pounds to 100 foot-pounds, you don't want to leave it set at 80 foot-pounds, because then it is applying tension on that internal spring the entire time it is being stored, which can affect its accuracy over time. With split beams, with the internals and how it is actually designed, there's no internal tension on the spring no matter what you set it at, so that is nice. So whatever you're working at, let's say you torque wheels all day long at 75 foot-pounds, you can literally leave this at 75 foot-pounds all the time and you'll be just fine. You can just grab it and go and not really have to worry about the accuracy being affected like you would with a standard click style torque wrench. So that is a nice pro as well. The other thing that's really nice is they're super easy to adjust. So you literally flip this tab down, which just basically locks this wheel, and right now we're at 20, and I mean you can really just glide through the torque settings here real easy. So you just set it, it's increments of 10 foot-pounds, and then there's a hash mark that goes by 2s all the way up. So it's super easy to adjust. Throw it on 50 foot-pounds, you lock it down just like so. And then here they have a conversion table where you can convert your foot-pounds to Newton meters and anything like that. So that's really nice. The handle's comfortable. It's a plastic design. It's kind of got a rubberized feeling to it, especially on the gray portion. And here's just kind of a close-up look before we go ahead and torque it so you guys can hear what the actual click sounds like. If you guys have any questions on these or I forget to mention anything. Now, I chose the 3/8 because I already have a Matco USA half-inch drive torque wrench. I chose the 3/8 because I already have the Tekton 3/8 that I bought years ago and kind of wanted to show you guys the differences in between the two. So here you definitely get a good length difference. So with the old style or standard click style torque wrench, you're just over 14 inches of length here. And with the new one, you're just under 19 inches. So you get a few more inches with the new split beam style torque wrench. You have a non-quick release on both of them. I do like the design of the flush head here. You can see the imperfections here in the reverse, under the reverse switch on the Tekton. I've had this thing probably 4 or 5 years, and even though it's just your generic design standard click style torque wrench, it has actually held up very well, and I've used it quite a bit rebuilding the Camaro and working on miscellaneous vehicles around the house. It has held up very well. The only thing I don't care for on these are the locking mechanism, and it's this twisting knurled end down here, which can kind of be annoying. When you unlock it, you go to adjust it, and when you're adjusting it, sometimes you're grabbing that locking mechanism and then it ends up locking as you're trying to screw it or, you know, raise the torque setting. So then you got to unscrew it again and keep going, and it can just kind of be a pain. And then you also have to remember, if you care about taking care of your tools, you want to set it back at the base, which would be 10 foot-pounds on this torque wrench. And yeah, so you definitely are getting a higher quality torque wrench with this, a lot cleaner, a lot easier to use. I like the adjustments. It's a lot easier than the knurled end here. It's just all around a really good torque wrench and a good upgrade that Tekton has selected over their standard click style torque wrenches. I want to say this one runs around the $42 price range, so this one is just over double the price, but it is definitely just on a whole nother level. And that goes for all of these split beams from various brands. They're all good styles, good clean torque wrenches, and I like how this one is 2.5% on its accuracy, where these are 4%, and that's what you see in a lot of your torque wrenches available, unless you're going higher end. But let's go ahead and put it to use so you guys can hear what the click style sounds like on this torque wrench. So here we have the Tekton torque wrench with the 1/4 inch Allen bit socket on it, and we're just going to go ahead and torque these caster camber bolts to 20 foot-pounds. Now, I'm not sure how well the camera will pick it up, but the feeling of a split beam and a standard click style torque wrench is similar. You can, in person, I'm not sure how the camera's going to pick it up, you can definitely hear a difference in the click that you get from this torque wrench to a standard click style. But I'll just go ahead and show you. Hopefully it picks it up. So you really get a loud first click, and then upon release you get a lighter click as it resets. I'll go ahead and use the standard click style so you guys can kind of hopefully pick up the difference. upon clicking and releasing. The tone is definitely different, the feeling's different, but you still get that click style feel. It's a strong first click, so you know that it's torqued. So just know they are very similar as far as feeling and all that, but if you've never used one, you will notice a difference. So I think this is a great upgrade from Tekton. I like that obviously they have their 10% in rewards, and then during the holidays it's even higher, sometimes 15% or 2 times the rewards. So that's fantastic as well. But I like how they're all certified to the 2.5% accuracy. And I really like that Tekton has finally upgraded their torque wrenches. And the old style, click style, if you're looking for a cheaper one, more of the generic design, those will still be available as well. So now you have more options. So yeah, if you guys are interested, I will have the Tekton website linked down in the description, or I'll have multiple tools that I do suggest linked down in the description underneath the tools link. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. If I forgot to mention anything about this tool, please leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you guys have. And if you guys haven't subscribed, please make sure you consider subscribing. See you guys next time.